Aloha, Namaste, Sitaram, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom, good morning, good evening, good night to each and every one of you. I just want to say first, thank you all so much for joining us. We love having you. We love spending this time with you. Why Divine Soul Journey? Because divine, we all have a divine we connect to, the source, the way. Whoever divine is for you. Because we respect all faith and religion. And also, we just want to let you know that we're here for you because we all have a soul. And our souls are on a journey. And we want to help you be on that journey. Walk with you, talk with you, laugh with you. As a disclaimer, just want to let you know again, this is not about religion. These are about teachings and wisdom. And if this resonates with you, awesome. If not, that's okay. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Today our guest is amazing healer, a devotee, and he's from India. And I'll let him share his story in a moment. And he has a lot of wisdom in him. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and his journey and how it started, because we all start somewhere. So I want you to help me welcome Pranjal Joshi from India. Welcome, Pranjal, to the Divine Soul Journey show.
Namaste everyone. Namaste Dianne. I'm honored to be a part of this show.
Well, thank you so much. So, Pranjal, I know there's a lot we have to talk about. So, why don't we first start with a little bit about how this all began for you?
It was in the year 2004 when I was a student in an engineering college in India, in a city called Jaipur. I got first exposed to the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. I was introduced by a man who was a preacher who used to give sermons on this great Vedic scripture. That is when I was first introduced to the teachings of the Gita.
So, what is some of the most profound teachings that you learned from the Bhagavad Gita? I have a copy of it, and you were surprised when I told you. I just said the Bhagavad Gita, the name, and you pretty much said that the author, I can't even, and I apologize because I cannot pronounce that name for the life of me, and the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and you may want to tell our audience who wrote it, because honestly, I cannot pronounce that.
Right. So the edition of the Bhagavad Gita which you have is the most widely circulated and the most widely read edition of the Bhagavad Gita in the whole world. The name of the writer is His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or the Hare Krishna movement as we know it. He was a pure devotee of Lord Krishna and a great preacher of Sanatan Dharma.
So thank you for that. So why don't you just break it down for us with some of the words and terminology that you used there just now in the description, so we'll have a better understanding of what we're talking about. The Bhagavad, the Gita, and some of the actual terminology that you use, so our beautiful audience can have a better understanding and put it into context.
Right.
Go ahead.
The word Bhagavad Gita. The word Gita is a Sanskrit word. Sanskrit is the most ancient language in the world. The word Bhagavad, the Bhag means God said it, and Gita means in the form of a song. Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to his student, disciple, and friend Arjuna around 5,100 years ago in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The word Gita means song in Sanskrit. This is a Sanskrit word. So this is the term Bhagavad Gita, and this is what it means.
So thank you. So you said Sanskrit. Why don't you just give a definition what the Sanskrit is? I know what the Sanskrit is, but for our audience who is listening, what exactly is a Sanskrit?
Just like English is a language, German is a language, Sanskrit is also a language. But this is a very ancient language in which the great Vedic scriptures were written by the great sages thousands of years ago.
Thank you. And we all know that when we look at certain documentaries and movies, we hear them talk about the Sanskrit, or even with the Bible, for that example. It's written in a different language. It might be written on a different paper, and it had to be translated. So that all of that is called a Sanskrit. It's a translation, the language it's written in, and it's then broken down into different, languages as we speak: English, French, German, Hebrew, and so forth. Thank you for that. So what inspired you so much about, what fascinates you so much about the Bhagavad Gita in terms of your healing and your journey where you are right now? And do you use that in your daily healings and teachings?
Well, when I got first exposed to the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, I was surprised to know that my actual identity. The Bhagavad Gita says we are soul, not this body. And that is the fundamental teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. And it is just because of reading the Bhagavad Gita that I got to discover myself. I came in touch with my own real identity, that I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am the spirit soul, I am eternal, I am part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So when I came to know this, I was fascinated by the whole scripture. It taught me the purpose of life. And what I am today, I owe to this great scripture, because it teaches man the purpose of his existence, the purpose of his being, and the purpose of life.
Beautiful. Why don't you go a little bit deeper into that, what you just said there? So can you break it down for us in terms of what that meant to you exactly? How did you apply this to your daily life and your journey?
Well, the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita are very sublime. And as far as I am concerned, I read the Bhagavad Gita every day of my life. As soon as I get up in the morning, I make it a point to go through the Bhagavad Gita. And you will be surprised to know, no matter how many times I have been through the same lines over and over again, whenever I read them, I feel I am reading it for the first time. Because the knowledge is purely spiritual in nature, is so sublime that when you go through it over and over again, you feel it's absolutely fresh.
That is
It's
so
not
true.
like material knowledge. When you acquire material knowledge and you read it, you know that I have been through it earlier. But this is not the case with the Bhagavad Gita. It's so fresh always, and that what inspires me most and draws me most towards it.
Thank you for sharing that, because every day you wake up, especially when you're in a healing path or journey, you see things differently when you wake up. It's a new day, and it's new knowledge and wisdom. Could be the same old context, but you see it in a different light. One word, a phrase will mean something different to you as you grow, as you climb up the ladder, as you uplift in your journey. It does. You can look at the same movie, the same show, you can read the same book like you said, and you can see it through different eyes, and you pick up something that you didn't pick up the last time. But I do know that you're only supposed to pick up whatever you need to in that given point in time. And that's why, we encourage, I know sometimes we don't have the time to go back and do practices and go back and do readings and go back and read the notes that you have, because you wouldn't have picked it up the first time. Definitely so. So I thank you for sharing that. What are some of the teachings that you want to bring to, and wisdom that you wanted to bring, because you wanted to talk about the Bhagavad Gita? And thank you for this. And I'll say one thing on personally. I am a Presbyterian by birth. Okay, what does that mean? My family was Presbyterian. Half my family is other religions. The other half is another religion for my cousins and so forth. But really and truly, although I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, my ancestors came from India. And I embrace that. I truly do. Do I know the teachings and learnings? No, but I grew up in a village that we had everyone surround us. So this is very inspiring for me, Pranjal, for you to have this conversation, because maybe this is a conversation in the back of my mind I've been thinking about for a long time. I visit to India and so forth to learn and go ahead. It's amazing, fascinating place. And I'm from a sect that is a very high sect or caste in India. And I really don't know much. So I thank you for bringing this to the forefront in regards to educating me particularly about this, and having this conversation today means something in my teachings and learnings and in my journey. So I thank you for that on a personal note. So please, what would you like to talk to us about, particularly about the Bhagavad Gita? Because I know you're very anxious to talk about this today.
I am definitely very anxious talking about it today because it's full of wisdom. The Bhagavad Gita is the path of light. It's the path of truth. And I just want and desire to spread the divine teachings to everyone I come across. So that's why I am anxious talking about it. There are 5 major topics discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. One is Bhagwan. Bhagwan is a Sanskrit word which means God. The second is Atma. Atma means soul. Third is Kal. Kal means time. Fourth is Prakarthi. Prakarthi means nature, and Prakarthi also means the 3 modes of material nature. And the 5th one is karma or action, as we all know it. These are the 5 major topics discussed in the Bhagavad Gita in detail. We can also say that the Bhagavad Gita revolves around these 5 major topics.
So thank you. So would you like to give us a little bit of each one?
Definitely.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The first one is Bhagwan or God. The word Bhagwan was given, the definition of the word Bhagwan means the possessor of the 6 great opulences. This was given by the great sage Parashar thousands of years ago. Bhagwan also means the absolute being or the absolute personality. There is nobody else equal to or greater than him. The Bhagavad Gita declares it openly and clearly that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the supreme authority or Bhagwan. The second topic discussed in the Bhagavad Gita is Atma or soul. I am soul, not this body. You are soul, not this body, and that's our actual identity. Just like we change our clothes, the soul changes the bodies one after the other, one after the other, life after life, and it goes on eternally. The third topic discussed in the Bhagavad Gita is Kal. Kal in Sanskrit, Kal is a Sanskrit word which means death. Kal also means time. Time can be past, present, or future. The fourth topic discussed in the Bhagavad Gita is Prakarthi. Prakarthi means nature. Here, Lord Krishna talks about the three modes of material nature. The tamogun or the mode of ignorance, the rajogun or the mode of passion, and the satogun or the mode of goodness. The Bhagavad Gita also talks about karma or action. So these are the karma is a very popular word in the whole world, especially in the Western societies, just like the word yoga is. So these are the five main topics discussed in the Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you for sharing that. So, first of all, let's address a little bit of each one. And maybe a little bit later, you can actually share with us maybe a meditation, a short meditation, or a song, or a bhajan, or something that will help us, inspire us. So, let's talk about Lord Krishna. In regards to Lord Krishna, exactly a little bit of his story, because they all have a story, and there are many god and goddesses that you look up to is your divine. They are your divine as well. But as you mentioned Krishna, let's mention a little bit more about who Lord Krishna is.
The word Krishna is a Sanskrit word. It means all attractive. The word Krishna also means one who takes you away from the cycle of birth and death, or who gives you liberation. Lord Krishna was born at a place called Mathura in India. The place very much exists even now. Around 5,100 years ago. And the name of his father was Vasudeva. And name of his mother was Devaki. When he was born, many divine things happened. He was not an ordinary being. His birth was forecasted long before he appeared. He was none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. There are four main reasons mentioned in the great Vedic scriptures why the Lord descends Himself. One is to annihilate the demons, the miscreants, or the evil. The second one is to bless his devotees. The third one is to establish law and order. And the fourth one is to deliver the divine or the transcendental knowledge for the upheaval, for the benefit of the entire humankind. These are the four usual purposes why the Supreme Lord Himself incarnates.
Thank you.
Lord Shri Krishna was beautiful.
Thank you.
He was so beautiful that his beauty cannot be described in words. His beauty was infinite, and it was around 5,100 years ago. And on the 30th of this month, 30th of August 2021, we are going to celebrate a festival known as Janmashtami. Janma means birth. Ashtami means the 8th day. We go by the lunar or the solar calendars here in India. Janmashtami is the great and divine day of his birth. That is, in every year the day is different because our calendars are calculated differently. So this year, after 3 days, we are going to have a grand festival of his birthday celebration.
That's lovely. Thank you for that. So, I also want to talk, and those who are just joining us on the Divine Soul Journey, we're here with Pranjal Joshi from India, who's talking about the Bhagavad Gita and some of the teachings and the knowledge behind, the wisdom behind the Bhagavad Gita and how it came about. And we're talking about, there's 5 different components and teaching and wisdom. And we just spoke about Lord Krishna. We're going to mention about the soul, time, the material, and nature, and of course the karma very briefly, and then we'll move on with our forgiveness practice that we typically do. So if you could just briefly guide us through the 2nd to the 5th teachings, Pranjal, that would be amazing. And I could just listen to Pranjal when he speaks, the passion, the love that's coming from his words and his actions, and the way he articulates his words. It's you can feel it, how he loves, and how he dedicated his life to these teachings and this way of life, which is helping him in his journey. So if we can actually continue with the 2nd to the 5th one just briefly, and then we'll move on to the other part of the show.
Right. So I want to talk about, I mentioned about the word Bhagwan or God. Now I want to talk about the 3 modes of material nature. The mode of ignorance or tamogun makes us lazy, dull, and crazy. People who love to sleep, people who are addicted to bad vices and intoxicants are in the mode of ignorance. Their intelligence are just completely taken away. Then is the mode of passion or rajagun. When a living entity is under the influence of the rajogun or the mode of passion, he is motivated to work hard. The origin of the mode of passion is the attraction towards the opposite gender. Attraction between male and female is the point of origin of Rajogun. or the mode of passion. A person desires wealth, name, fame, fortune, good looks. He desires material glory and success. He aspires for his highest good. But unfortunately, all of it is short-lived and temporary, and it ends in distress and misery. Then is the mode of goodness or satogun, which is characterized by contentment. A person, even if he has less possessions, even if he has very little, he is satisfied with it. He enjoys himself, for he has contentment. No matter what you have, whatever you have, you are contented, and that gives you bliss. Among these three modes of material nature, the mode of goodness is the highest. Then comes the mode of passion, and then the mode of ignorance. I'm also going to talk about Kal, or time. We can divide it into three categories: the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Past tense is what we have done previously or what has happened previously. Present tense is what we are doing right now, and present comes from past, and future comes from present. Every moment of our existence is derived from our past activities. Every moment of our presence creates our future. Thus, thereby, our past, present, and future are closely interlinked. Our destiny is created by what we have been doing in our past lives, and our future will be created by what we are doing right now and what we have been doing so far. We are, in a way, creators of our own destiny, and nothing happens unless ordained by destiny. I thereby talked about Kala, or time. I also talked about Prakarthi, or the three modes of material nature. What you say about it, Dianne?
That definitely is resonating because I'm telling you, I'm learning so much. I'm just listening to everything you're saying. And thank you for bringing this, Das. Many of the teachings you're speaking about is very common in some of the other teachings that we do know about. And it's not different, it's just put in a different context. But again, at the end of the day, it so resonates because it's all parallel to all the other beliefs.
Yeah. When Lord Krishna said it, it was in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is a place in India. It was a battlefield, and there was a battle going on between two opposing parties. And just before that battle was about to start, the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, gave these divine teachings to his beloved disciple, friend, and relative, Arjuna. So these teachings are divine teachings, and these are manifested in several different ways. across different traditions, different areas, and different times. That is why we can always find a resonance between the teachings of the Gita and the teachings from other wise men.
That's true. But you know what I would like to do now, Pranjal? Because we talked about karma and we talked about souls, I believe it would be a beautiful time where I can actually do a forgiveness practice very briefly, and then we can do some of the cool stuff. And what came to mind for me right now is for finance. We all go through challenging times right now, so if you can just bear with me, and I'll just prep everyone for this forgiveness practice because it's about karma. Because most of the karma, you have at least 50% of the karma that basically means karma is blockages, the challenges, darkness, not moving forward, the negative messages, as we spoke about, has to do with your ancestors and the souls of your ancestors and the souls of the ancestors that hurt those souls. So, if we can just for a moment prepare ourselves, and I would like you to actually close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in, relax. If you're lying down, don't say this out loud because the energy just flows through you. Even when you say your prayers and you're lying down, do it in silence. If you're sitting down, make sure your feet is grounded. If you're standing, you can stand and you can put your one hand in your heart. Literally by your sternum, where is your heart chakra, and one in your lower abdomen. Or what you can do is you can take your right hand and clasp your left thumb in that hand and hold your thumb across and put it on your abdomen. I just want you to breathe and relax. Listen to the music, the love, peace, and harmony that's playing right now. Just let it go. After you hear about the wisdom and the teachings from Pranjal, this is going to help you. And when you go back and you listen to this show, please, you can do the practice again. So one of the things we have to do is we have to say hello. It's very important that we be respectful. So if you close our eyes and just breathe, visualize a golden light ball as you breathe coming through and going down to your abdomen, or even your first chakra, which is where your groin area is. Just a little bit in front of your anus, but on the bottom, if you want to put it the bottom, think of it as a sea, the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of your body. And just listen to my words and just breathe. If you just keep breathing that light. The area of the abdomen, what we call the lower dantian, is an energy center that holds all the doings and karma for your relationship, your finance, your health, longevity, immunity, and so forth. But we're going to do a forgiveness practice, a healing for your finance today. And here it goes. Dear soul, heart, mind, and body of my finances, because every single cell, every single emotion, every single area of your life has what we call a Shen Chi Jin, but the soul is the boss, your spirit. Without your spirit, your soul, you're no longer breathing. The soul sends a message to the heart. So the soul is the boss of the heart. And then it sends it to the mind to process it. That sends it through your body, which is the chi, the energy. That's why you feel all tingly. And then it spreads through your whole body. So dear soul, heart, mind, and body of my finances, I love you. I honor you. And I appreciate you. Give gratitude, show love. Please forgive my ancestors and me for all the mistakes we have made in all lifetimes that have hurt or harmed anyone or anything financially or in any business in any way. I deeply apologize for all of these mistakes. You also have the power to heal and transform yourself. Please heal and transform. And right now, you can make a personal request for your finances or your business. And it could be your personal finances, could be, the money, your monthly income, whatever your personal finances, the credit card payments, whatever you choose to, make a request. Then we're going to go to the outer souls, because we always have to do the yin yang. They're the Tao, source, and divine. Tao means the way. They're Buddhas, saints. Name all the saints and souls you believe in. Lord Krishna, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Jesus, Buddhas, name the Buddhas, whoever you believe in. They're heaven, Mother Earth, and countless planets, stars, galaxies, and universes. I love you, honor you, and appreciate you. Please forgive my ancestors and me for all the mistakes, hurt, or harm we have caused in all lifetimes related to negative Shenshijin blockages or the negative messages in our finance and our business. I am sincerely sorry for all these mistakes. And while I am doing this, I will ask Pranjal after, in his way, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a prayer, to chant. He will chant for us after, or whatever he chooses to and guide it to. I apologize from the bottom of my heart to you and to all the souls my ancestors and I have hurt or harmed in these ways. In order to be forgiven, I will serve unconditionally. To chant and meditate is to serve. I will chant and meditate as much as I can. And that could be as simple as just saying Om, anything with high energy and vibration, as well as the song that you're listening to right now, the Love, Peace, and Harmony. I will offer unconditional service as much as I can. I unconditionally forgive anyone who has harmed the finances or business of me or my ancestors in all lifetimes. I am extremely grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'd like you to visualize a light shining in and around the request you made for the transformation of your finances. So just inhale and expand your abdomen. Exhale and contract your abdomen. Make sure when you inhale and you exhale, it's at a pace that's smooth, even, natural, and it relaxes you. Now do remember the length of each inhalation and exhalation is really dependent on your personal health condition. Don't force it, just go with the flow. And as we ask Pranjal to do something very simple right now, continue to breathe effortlessly. Continue to feel the energy. Relax your body. And Pranjal, if you would like to share any chant, mantra, that would be appreciated at this time. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
How? How means all is good. Thank you. And let's take a moment. And I would just like you to visualize this. Feel it. And in your mind, repeat this after me. Or if you're sitting down or standing, you can repeat this. I am that I am. I am God's light. That first that, it's you. Imagine you have the ability to create your destiny, mold your journey, manifest it. So repeat after me. Like I said, you can do it in silence, or you can say it. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that, the God and Goddess in you. Reaching out to that I am, the higher being, divine, source, the Tao. I am God's light. You are the light. You are the one is shining. God put you here, divine, source, soul. Tao put you here to shine and serve. So can repeat after me. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that I am. I'm God's light. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that I am. God's light. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that I am. I am God's light. I am that I am. I am God's light. How means all is good. You can now put your hands together whenever, however preposition you do, and give thanks and gratitude. What we say is how all is good. Thank you. We always say it in threes in Trinity. Love you. We appreciate you, we honor you, and we are eternally grateful. Thank you. And some of us do say countless blessings, and many can go down and bow their heads, go down on their knees, and give gratitude and thanks. And then we say Gonsong, which is just Mandarin for saying, yes, thank you. But we know that you have to return. They have to rest, the souls that we called on. Heaven's team has to rest now. And we want to thank them and say, yes, it's okay. So thank you so much. So Pranjal, and for our beautiful audience, please give us feedback. And dsjshow2020@gmail.com as to how you felt. We'd love to hear from you. So Pranjal, what was your experience? I know you're very spirited. I know your third eye is open. How are you?
It was an amazing experience being on this show. And audience are blessed for they are getting to know the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. They are getting to know the absolute truth. It's something very special. The audience are truly blessed, and I'm honored being a part of this show.
Thank you so much for being with us. So why don't you give us, as we wrap up here now, why don't you give us some of your final words of wisdom or thoughts or whatever you like to say, express. It can be whatever you like.
Well, I would like to sum it up by sharing it with our audience.
Please do.
That the best way to realize the absolute truth, the best way to attain the absolute truth, as mentioned in the Vedic scriptures, as stated by the great sages of ancient India, especially in this age, is to chant and hear the holy name of the Lord. And I would like to sing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which
Please
I
do.
sang earlier.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So these are 16 letters of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. What it essentially means is that we are praying to the Supreme Lord and His divine energy to engage us in His transcendental and loving devotional service.
Thank you so much for that. And I just opened the book and it just opened to chapter 6. I'm just going to read what's highlighted here briefly. And my apologies if I pronounce this wrong, but I know Pranjal will correct it for me. Dhyana Yoga. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "One who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic. Not he who lights no fire and performs no duty." This is very profound today, only because we talk about action. And it's funny, I had that conversation with someone just prior to this show, where we see people who want things in life and they get attached to it. They get attached to the idea. But guess what? They don't really take any action. They don't really do anything about it. You've been given an opportunity to move forward, to share, to make this life a better life for you and everyone around you, but particularly your soul is here. Again, this is not about religion, but your soul is here to pick up the teachings and the learnings. It's looking for something. It's hungry for knowledge and wisdom that will take you to the next life if you believe. You ever thought about when you see a 5-year-old, I always say this story, who is a classical pianist? You wonder where this came from? It just didn't happen overnight. Your soul carries the wisdom, the knowledge, the teachings, and it's here to help you. Only if you let it. Only if you unleash the power within you. Only if you send it love and appreciation and be grateful. this is what karma cleansing is about. This is what time is about. You take the time and you make it into something. You use it wisely to help build you, your business, your family, relationships. You work at it. The material things mean nothing. It really doesn't mean anything. Yes, you have it in the moment. But are you really happy with some of the things you have? Your soul journey is a very special one. You only have one soul from the time you were even a thought. It travels and travels for those who believe. And if you don't believe, it's okay. But make this divine soul journey a special one, an enriched one, and one that would be easier for the next time your soul takes a body form. And I say this to you because you want to come back into a body form. You don't want to come back into an animal. You don't want to come back into an object. Everything has a soul. So I want to thank Pranjal so much for actually teaching us so much, because it was fascinating for me. Because I've had this book for a long time and I didn't know the teachings in it. And I want to thank you for that, because it did open up my eyes to so much. So thank you, Pranjal. Thank you for being here with us on the Divine Soul Journey. Thank you. And for all the amazing audience, I hope you felt it. I hope you embraced it. The love and passion that Pranjal brought to us. The forgiveness practice. Go back and do it. Each and every time. I want to thank you all for being here. For being on this journey with us. And I just want to say aloha, namaste, sitaram, assalamu alaikum, shalom, good morning, good afternoon, good night. To each and everyone, wherever you are. We thank you, we love you, and we're eternally grateful for you spending this time with us. This is Dianne and Pranjal saying, in the words of love, peace, and harmony, blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you.